Well, I'm glad that y'all tuned in today. Tonight is Halloween, and we had some people come through today that sort of messed up the service a little bit, but we still brought a little bit of a message. Will be tonight out of the book of Matthew chapter 23. I only took 2 verses. Jesus is preaching stern words to the 12 and to the multitudes. And his words is direct. If you go into Matthew 23, you'll see where that he was preaching to them folks. And he preaches to all of us today. For the ones that read that chapter, he's talking to you and I. In these 2 verses that we're going to do tonight, he used the word woe. He used it 2 times. That word woe means grief. It means sorrow, and it means pain. Now you suppose that Jesus was grieved when he used the 2 woes here in these 2 verses. I want to read these verses to you. Starting in verse 25. He says, "Woe unto you, scribes and Pharisees, hypocrites! For ye make clean the outside of the cup and of the platter, but within they are full of extortion and access. Thou blind Pharisee, cleanse first that which is within the cup and platter, that the outside of them may be clean also." I told the people today how it was so easy to clean up the outside. I used this kind of glass right here. I don't know if the camera will pick up on it or not. It's got a gold ring around the top. It's got the Christmas colors on the bottom. It's a very nice, pretty little glass here. But Jesus is able to see through us. This is an example of us. Jesus is able to see through the skin and through the person on the inside. He has X-ray vision. He sees inside the soul. Now, sometimes I don't think we want him to see that much of us. But he sees way more than we give him credit for. He knows your hidden parts. And yes, he knows my hidden parts. You know, he tells us in these verses here, Jesus is really speaking pretty heavy. The only thing that Jesus wants to find in our cup is not so much the outside, but what lays on the inside. When Jesus comes in to give salvation, he sees the empty cup. He sees what your cup looks like. He knows you very well. He knows if you're trusting in him. He knows if you have salvation in him. He knows if you only got religion. And religion can be in the form of anything that we put ahead of the Christ. But when we come in to a relationship with Jesus, Jesus puts himself into us. Now we're no longer empty. See, Jesus ain't worried so much about the decoration on the outside. He's more concerned about the purity on the inside. But you know what? Even if you have Jesus, and I've learned this in the last several days, that even if you have Jesus, there is people that turns their glass upside down, and God can't pour his blessing into a person that don't want it. Now, does that mean that God takes away your salvation? No. I will always be my mama's little boy. That will never change. I might do something to get myself out of fellowship with her, but I will never quit being her little boy. And if God took time to give me salvation and allow me to be born again, I can turn my cup upside down and not be able to get any of the good from God and still go to heaven. Because it's not based on my cup. It's based on the gift that God put in me when he gave me salvation. God doesn't remove my salvation because I mess up. God's not sitting up there like, I'm going to take away your salvation if you mess up. No, here's what it does. God sees our condition, and he knows our condition. He sees the hidden things that are in us. And whether we turn the cup upside down or not, God can only bless what we're able to do when it comes to having our cup right side up. Jesus wants to bless. That's the bottom line. And people have to put themselves into position of taking the blessing. But you know, I believe in my heart there's going to be people that's going to get to heaven and they're going to be empty-handed. They're not going to have nothing in their hand to give God on that day because they didn't do nothing to get nothing. Does that mean that God doesn't value their salvation? Sure. Does that mean that God takes them out of his hand of protection just because we turned the cup upside down? See, we do that to ourselves when we refuse to know the Lord. Is he seeing himself in you? You know, when I stand in front of the mirror, I only see one person. I see me. I don't see but one. Is he seeing himself in you? Here's the next question. Does he see unbelief in you? If you don't have salvation, you don't have salvation. And he also sees the beautiful container on the outside and it's empty on the inside. He sees that. He knows how many people today are empty without him. It's your choice. It's your choice to decide if you want to remain empty. It's your choice if you ask the Lord to come in and take an abode in you. It's really up to you. It's your decision. Jesus knows what you're going to do because he knows all things. He knows if you're going to love him. He knows if you're going to serve him. He knows if you're going to win anyone to Jesus. He knows. But you know, I lived my life for a long time like that. I was empty. But Jesus came in and he gave me salvation. And all he's wanting you to do is not worry so much about the outside of the cup, because he's able to look through the inside of the cup. He knows the inside. He created it. I hope you get something from this today. Thank y'all for watching.